Testing, testing.
Back for another episode of On the Bench presented by The Bench Market, and our guest this week is Vees forward Jackson Niedermayer. Jackson, a good weekend for this team on home ice last weekend. 2 wins, one against Salmon Arm on Friday and then against Wenatchee in overtime on Saturday. Parents weekend as well, so it must have been pretty special for the guys to come away with those 2 victories.
Yeah, I mean, obviously playing at home, you wanna take advantage of that and try to win as many games as possible in your own barn here. So yeah, it was good. It was good getting 2 wins over 2 good opponents in Salmon Arm and Wenatchee, and I thought we played probably the 2 best games we played all year this weekend. And yeah, playing in front of your parents, it's even that more special.
You get that opportunity to do so quite often, obviously, with your family here. But, how special is that to have your parents in the crowd? Because I know that obviously it can bring a little bit of extra jump out of you because you want to show well on home ice, especially in front of your own fans. But then with your parents in the stands, too, it must just mean that much more.
Yeah, exactly. It's always nice having your parents at the game and knowing they supported you from the moment you were born, really. So yeah, it's always nice having your family around and being able to support you in kind of your games like they can. So it's been good, and yeah, looking forward to the rest of the year.
So obviously, you grew up in a hockey household. Niedermayer is obviously a very common hockey name around households, and you grew up in California. Is there any differences between California and Penticton? Because we've heard a lot of people say that there's a lot of similarities between the 2 sides, but what are some of the biggest differences that you notice in the 2 places?
I mean, just probably the size of it, really. I mean, California's a pretty big state. Penticton's kind of a small city, I guess, compared to some of the cities in California. But I mean, yeah, you got your beaches and your water. So I mean, that's why you go to California, for the sunshine and the sand and the water. So I mean, if the summertime, it's pretty nice here too. But yeah, it's probably the biggest difference is just the size of it, really.
This is your 2nd year in Penticton now. Last year, obviously, a bit of a tough year for you dealing with a couple of injuries, but this year it's been a good year so far for yourself. What have you liked about the city, and what are some of the things now in your 2nd year that you kind of missed after your first season that you're glad to be back and experiencing now?
Just kind of the atmosphere about being around the rink and being with the guys and all that too. It's fun, and that's kind of something that you get taken away when you get hurt and you got to go get surgery or go back home and take care of it. So just being around the rink and kind of cherishing the moments you have, because I mean you only have a certain amount of time here before you move on, so try not take advantage of it and try to soak in as much as possible.
November, for the month before December, obviously, and Christmas coming up. But for Jackson Niedermayer, what's his favorite month of the year?
Favorite March. March is my favorite month of the year. It's my birthday month, so March, definitely March.
Is there anything else going on in March just besides your birthday, or is your birthday just one big month-long celebration?
I like to think of it as a month-long celebration. I don't know if my parents like to think of it as a month-long celebration. I get a couple other buddies with the birthday in March, so I mean, just a good month in general.
You've got a lot of compliments on this On the Bench series so far without actually being on the show, so I'm happy to have you on here now this week, and maybe just to address a couple of those as well, because I know you've been told that you've had one of the best voices on the team and best style as well. What goes into your style on a day-to-day basis?
It's simple. I mean, I just try to dress better than Connor Hutchinson on a daily basis, and just as long as I'm coming to the rink better dressed than that guy, I mean, I'm doing my job right. And yeah, Waiter said I got the 2nd best singing voice on the team next to him. I don't know where that came out of. I don't think I've ever sung with Waiter before, but yeah, I'll take the compliments, and yeah, no, it's kind of just fun to go joke about him in the locker room and kind of just talk about it with the guys, and it's all for laughs and stuff like that, so it's good.
You've got a pretty good mustache going. Obviously, Movember is the month for obviously mustaches and raising awareness for cancer. And for yourself, I know I've seen you with that mustache more than just November. Is that something that's going to continue on past the month, or is that just stopping once December 1st comes around?
I think I'm going to continue it on. I think I'm going to keep the stash, and I mean, you see Austin Matthews with the stash. He's an idol of mine, so it's kind of. He has one, so I mean, if I'm trying to be like him, I think I gotta have one too, and I probably say I have one of the top 5 best mustaches on the team. Waiter just can't grow a mustache, which I mean, I'm already beating him, and neither can Hutch. So those 2 guys, I know if I'm beating them, like I said earlier, then I'm doing my job right, and I am. So no, I think the mustache is gonna stay around for a little bit.
Couple rapid fire questions for you to close this thing out. I know earlier in the year you were said that if someone were to navigate somewhere with you, you would be the guy that they would want to navigate with. So now I have to ask you the question. If you had to go anywhere with somebody without GPS or anything, it was just a map to get to your destination, who would you pick?
I would like, honest answer would be Holtzy. Anywhere in the world, I'd pick Holtzy. But in Penticton, probably Liam Noble. He's been here for a bit, so probably Liam around Penticton. Anywhere else, Holtzy's a pretty smart guy, so I'm gonna go with Holtzy.
Lastly, for you now, obviously, this team's tight. This team's got a lot of good buddies on it here. And hair has been the question that I've brought up quite often with everybody. So now I got to ask you the question, because Lucas Sillinger is kind of in the lead for best hair on the team from opinions. Are you going to go with that?
I think I have the best hair. I got a toucan, but I think personally I have the best hair. I don't know. Lucas Sillinger does not have the best hair on the team. Whoever said that, it's wrong. We got a couple guys with receding hairlines on the team. Not going to name any names, but I think I probably have top 3 best hair on the team for sure.
Well, appreciate it. Thanks so much for this, Jackson, and glad to have you on the bench this week.
Thank you.
Join me next week for another episode of On the Bench presented by the Bench Market, where my guest will be Vees goaltender Yaniv Peretz.